Hey YouTube land, Tycondrius there, doing another action figure review, and today we're having a look at a Mattel Jurassic Park, or Jurassic World, technically Jurassic World, but it is a Jurassic Park set. This is the Epic Attack Ford Explorer, the Crash and Attack Ford Explorer. Now, there's been a bit of debate on the availability of this set. I managed to pick this up from a store in Germany. As I got it through a buddy of mine who has friends in Germany and was able to pick it up in store for me, and then I have to get them to ship it over, but luckily he was getting stuff off them himself though, so kind of helped with the shipping part of it. But this is the Epic Attack Ford Explorer set. Now, this is how it appears on the box. Obviously they are tied on, and the car's actually more secure than this loose way it is, but this is just the way it appears on the packaging. There is also cable tie stuff around this, so it doesn't do the action feature while it's in the box. But if I flip around the box, it has the velociraptor, it has sounds, so it has 3 different sounds and lights, I think, as far as I can tell. And then it has few information. Doesn't really have anything else other than just all the legalese stuff and just the information about the data, the app. I think it's not called the data app anymore. It's something. It's been changed a couple of times. And then it shows other stuff in the Epic Attack line, which is HNC101 and HNC112, one of which is a Dilophosaur, and the other one is I believe it's the male velociraptor from Jurassic Park 3. So, box aside, it's a fairly big box, so if you are planning on keeping it displayed in the box, it is about nearly 1.5 foot in length, so just be wary of that if you want to do a display for it. So we'll go through the velociraptor first. It's surprisingly larger than nearly any of the other velociraptors from the Jurassic Park line. It does have the data facts thing here that you just pop up, and it has the roar. Yeah, it has all those different roars once you press the side. The opposite side is a bit garish because it has the big slits on it for the audio. I would have preferred if they could have kept it underneath like they did some of the other dinosaurs. It's a bit unsightly having it on the side. It reminds me a lot of the way Hasbro did their ones back in the day when they did the first Jurassic World line, when the first Jurassic World movie came out, because it wasn't until Fallen Kingdom was when Mattel took over. And that line just took off. It does have an articulating mouth. It's not a bad sculpt. It's nice enough. The design, the overall look and design of this raptor really reminds me of the old Kenner one. The old Kenner electronic velociraptor. It just has that look to it for some reason, and I'm not sure why. I could easily see them doing a redeco of it in that color scheme. But it even has a look of was it Snapjaw, which was the one that came out with The Lost World. But there's just swivels for the rest of it, and the tail has a bit of a give to it as well. And it is attached on the box. It's not one of those ones where you have to pop it in place afterwards as an afterthought. So it's not too bad. I do like the metallic green that it shows for the eyes. It is quite nice. So I have a couple of other velociraptors. In fact, this is the one from the Lex and Tim Escape set, or the kitchen set. And the other one, which I have one of the gimmicky bits from a different figure on it. This is the one I had this thing thrown over its head. It's the piece that comes with one of the Jurassic World ones. This is the one from the Containment Chaos set, which has the glow-in-the-dark eyes. So these are all supposedly based on the Jurassic Park velociraptor, so you can see the difference between them. These two are more in scale. This one's a lot larger. It's almost like the Velociraptor figure that they did back in Kenner's time. They did like a huge velociraptor looking thing. It was called Velociraptor, if I'm pronouncing the name. Probably butchering the name, but that aside, we'll have a look at the Jeep. Or is it a Jeep? More SUV, Ford Explorer thing. Now, this isn't the first time they've released one of these. This is actually the second outing, or technically third outing, if you want to call it, for this particular sort of mold. This is the second time it's been done in this deco. And this one is the first of its kind to have an action feature. That's kind of similar to the original Kenner one that came out. I don't have the original Kenner one, unfortunately. I only ever had the, what's it called? The Tracker, the Jeep Tracker, the one that was based on the Jeep Wrangler that they did for that toy line. So the gimmick with this is the visor, some visor opens up. Now the reason because of this is because unlike the other version, the doors on this are molded closed, because there is a reasoning for behind this. So the whole idea is that you press down on this, or press down on the roof section, and the whole thing crushes. The bonnet opens up, similar to how the old Kenner one looked. I think the front of the Kenner one completely came apart, as in it was supposed to be dino damage. The whole section came off and it was a separate piece. But this has it has a nice nod to both that and the original design. I think the idea behind it is that so that you can recreate that scene, the infamous scene, where if you have one of your T-Rexes. Now this isn't the Legacy one, or not the Legacy, this is the Legacy one, it's not the Hammond Collection. If you had the Hammond Collection one, you can do it way better, but you can have it where it has the foot up on top of the crushed Explorer, but it looks pretty cool. And again, if you have them, and again, these are only Legacy versions of the figures, not the, you can actually have both Lex. These are the ones from that Escape set. So this is the more dirtied version of Tim, which has kind of mud splattering on him. And then there's only the one version of Lex. You have the two kids from the movie. You can have them in the car and have them, if I pop that up upside down, you can have that infamous scene where they're trying to escape out through the back window. I know it's probably going to be hard to see on screen here. And if you have the Hammond Collection Rex, which is a far better, more articulated, you can kind of recreate that scene where they're trying to escape out through the back window and it's being, the whole thing is sinking in mud. So as a comparison, I shall bring in the original Legacy version of the car, so we can go through the differences. So on the Legacy version, the door panel piece here are stickers. So the Jurassic logo on this is a sticker. The logo is a sticker as well. Yeah, pretty much anywhere on these are stickers. This whole front section is a sticker. Where on this one, this is actually, it's sort of a sticker as well, but these what do you call them, almost tiger jungle stripe type things are actually painted on. They're paint apps. They're very similar in design. They have the grille, they have the headlights, they have the little spotlight. Most of this is red though, instead of, you have like the colouring. You can see it on screen. You can see there's the kind of colouring on this. It kind of, there's like a bleed through of the red as opposed to it being a straight red. Whereas on this, because it's all has that action gimmick, they just opted just to do the whole thing, the one colour system. You can see that both are marked as number 4, so they are both the same vehicle. So as you got Tim with this one, this is supposed to be the one that they get trapped in that scene. Interior of this one, does the roof open? No, the roof does crush down on this one a small bit, so you can also recreate that scene where the Rex is pushing down on the roof section. But This one does have the opening doors. Internally, they are pretty much the same. The only difference is the seats are slightly more creamy, lighter beige color on the legacy version than they are on the new version. There's a bit more color to the ones on the new one. Hubcaps are identical. Pretty much everything is identical across the board on these. So that brings me to the semi-third iteration of this mold. So if I just get these up there like that. They did do a retooled version, which is this one. So this was based off concept of the old 90s toy line. There was I think it was series 2, or it was the follow-up series. I think it was series 2. They were going to have another version of the Explorer come out, and it was going to have this sort of armored front piece. It was going to have this sort of deco on it, but it was cancelled before it got released. So this Mattel decided to kind of use that idea and release this one. As you can see, the front section of these cars, even as down as far as the doors, is all the same. This whole rear section is a new sculpted piece. It's a retool more than an actual resculpt, because there is no gap here where they took off this and added this piece. This is actually a whole new shell piece that has this mount and lasso and firing missile gimmick. But again, like, if you have any of the figures, they'll fit in this thing as well. In fact, if I flip this thing around, you can see one of the mercenary figures driving this thing. So, like, if you have any of the characters, you can fit them into any of the Jeeps, or any of the Explorer style Jeeps for the most part. And then, just because I have one handy, I'll bring in the other infamous Jurassic Park vehicle, which is the Jeep Wrangler that was made famous. And this is the one from the Nedry set. So this is the infamous one from when Dennis Nedry gets trapped by the Dilophosaurs. This is supposed to be his one. They've released this a couple of times in the line. The original one was the one without this piece. It was pretty much like this, except it had a little roll bar at the back. This was the second outing, and there was a third version of this Jeep. I could be wrong, there could be more, but there was a third version of this Jeep which was released with muddy deco, and it came with Ellie Sattler, and I think it was supposed to recreate the scene when they find Malcolm in the wreckage of the bathroom, and it comes with Ellie in her yellow jacket, the rain jacket that she wears with the Jurassic logo on it. So all in all, this is a really cool set. As I say, unfortunately, getting this set, it does appear to be hitting Walmart at the moment in the States. I'm not sure if it's a Walmart exclusive. It hasn't seemed to pop up anywhere else from what I've been seeing online. And over here in Europe, Germany seems to be the only place to get it. It hasn't popped up on the Smith's website, and none of the Epic Attack stuff seems to have been listed on Smith's. And there is a couple of dinosaurs in that Epic Attack set series, so I don't know if that's going to be something that's going to be mainland Europe exclusive and not exclusive to Smith's, which is a shame because it is a really nice set. And if you're a fan of the movies and want to kind of have a diorama on your shelf, it makes a great setup for having the Hammond collection stuff and making your own little diorama for the display purposes as well, because you can do that recrushed car sequence from it. And even if you have this one and you renumbered it, you could have both cars from the series or from the movies and have Ellie, Grant and Malcolm in one. And if you're lucky enough to get the San Diego Gennaro set, you'd have Lex, Tim and Gennaro in the other car. So hope you enjoyed this video review. As always, please feel free to like, comment and subscribe to my channel, and I hope you enjoy your day, and I hope you enjoy this one. Cheers guys.